Rated T for teen.
All right. Everybody hear me okay out there? It's about time to get going. Let's see. Get rid of that. A little bit late because bad timing on getting the fairgrounds running on our server. Just got it up and running. Look at that. Plant your hemp seeds already. Way to go. All right. Today we are going to get started by going back into our map class folder and getting our map, and let's load it up in the editor. I'm going to start with a question that was asked in the forums, which I totally forgot, and that was back in the navigation meshes, we never placed any eggs in our chicken coop. So let's bring this up and get some eggs, and we'll show you how to get your eggs in the right place. How to do your eggs. Okay, first of all, here we are where we left off. Let's scroll over to our chicken area here. And let's see if we can find these. Again, unrehearsed tonight, so we'll see how good we do. All you need, animals, chickens. You'll see a folder called eggs. And it's right there under the animals, chicken husbandry, eggs. When you open that folder, you'll see an egg. Simple as that. The egg is basically just a point. You won't actually see the egg, but if we left control B and click to bring our egg point over here, possibly. Where did it go? Ha! It's not supposed to do that. Anybody see my little X? Let's undo it for a minute and see what happened. There's our egg trigger. There's an egg point. Okay. I didn't see it. But anyway, you basically take your first point, click it in on your terrain. You can angle it to make your egg turn a little bit, whatever way you want. Just highlight the egg again. Right Control D to duplicate. You have egg number 2. We'll put that over here. Control B, click on the terrain, and we'll straighten it. We'll turn it a little bit. I believe that, let's see, facing up would be 0, 0, 0. So if you wanted the arrow to be green, it'll stand up on end. But you probably want to lay your eggs down a little bit or put them at a different angle. And what I want to do right now, because I can't even remember, but I believe when you place an egg, it's partially underground because it's like the center point of the egg. So let's jump out real quick. We'll save this and just get some chickens and see if we have any till we get 2 eggs, because that's all we have is a capacity of 2 right now. Jump out, get my mod folder switcher to the map class, boot up our map. Is there a maximum number of eggs? KW wants to know. There isn't necessarily a maximum number of eggs, so it is up to the map maker. However, when you add too many eggs in 2013, and I have not tested it in 2015, but it took so long in the beginning loading up the eggs that it slowed down the whole vehicle process and build it. You might even have had maps have this happen, whereas vehicles were loading in, they were actually landing on the tops of the buildings because the vehicles would load too slow. And we had that with about 400 or 500 eggs on our map. So you want to keep your eggs to a reasonable amount, or you'll end up with the same problems most likely down the road. If you start having that problem and you added too many eggs and you start seeing, and you might not even notice until later when you get more stuff in the map. Now, how do you put the eggs in one spot? You can drag and you can put all your little eggs on top of each other, right? Just keep hitting the Control duplicate, but you're going to want to spread them out just a little bit. And we'll get into that once we check our eggs out here. Let's see. I don't want the guided tour. Oh well, we'll live with that. What I do want is some chickens. And because we don't have the water mod installed, we just need to fast forward time a little bit to get a couple eggs in our basket there. More chickens make eggs faster. Remind me for the class to get the buy many animals script. Doesn't work on servers, that's why I don't use it. Alright, speed up time a little bit. Yeah, there's a mod out there that will... I don't want to attach the header. I always do that, this silly mode. I want to go over to see my chickens. There is a mod out there, the chicken coop, that will, if you drop it on your map, and I think we included that as well in our package, our mod pack, but it will put all the eggs automatically that are on your map into that barn. What I was going to say about piling eggs all on one on top of each other, you could end up with several issues if you don't spread them out just a little bit. One of those things that happened in 2013 was that too many objects in one place. Error popped up when we had 500 all on the same one on top of the other. So if you're getting that error, you want to spread out your eggs a little bit. And let's see how we're doing for eggs here. Sorry, well, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for our egg count, and I don't even remember where it is. Shows animal barns. We have one so far. We'll let it run a little bit longer. And they will appear in order of where you place them in that list. So the first one will be over toward the left side. Second one should be over toward the right. And you can actually see it there, but we'll go in and get a closer view. And you'll see what I mean by it being half underground if we don't lift it up just a little bit. Or you could leave it the way it is. But there's egg one. Actually, no, they did a pretty good job. They're right on the surface. I just picked that one up. Over here is egg number 2. And the other thing about increasing your eggs beyond the minute, yeah, they look pretty good right on the so you don't have to do anything but just click and point now wherever you want the eggs. But the other thing about the too many eggs on the map, let's bring this back up. The setting where it turns red is still going to be at the default, which I think, I don't know if it's 53, 57, somewhere around there. So if you have 200, it's going to turn red at the same number regardless of how many you have there. But that's basically how you put your eggs in. I'm going to save the game so I don't have to buy more chickens. And let's get back out here. Bring up our map. We have our navigation meshes designed so we can actually shut off all that blue by show navigation mesh unchecked. So basically it's just a matter of control duplicate, put another egg. If you see, if I was to go control duplicate, control duplicate, control duplicate, all my eggs are going to be in one little pile. But you don't want to do that too many times or you're going to run into an error. So you might want to take and just slide it over. You know, keep your pile. You can have them relatively close together, but move them around a little bit. We can show you, we'll put all our eggs in a row. And it's great if you have a box that you want to put them in. You can put a crate and just have your eggs all need to be collected out of a crate and just spread them out. But you can pretty much put your eggs wherever you want. And that's why when you go into some maps, you will find one balanced on the fence post like that, pointing straight up. So when we come in, egg number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Egg 13 will be on the fence post right over there. So I'm going to save one more time. We'll go back in, and that should get you guys all going, placing your eggs wherever you want them. Just make sure you can reach them, because you got to walk up to them to collect them. So don't stick them in a barn where you can't get indoors or anything like that. Run my save game. One more time. And Giant's engine stopped working, probably because too many eggs in one place. Let's try one more time. Yep. That's all we did, but that's all it takes to mess with the Giant's engine. So test. Try again. It could have been something I did. Who knows? Nope. So let's go back to our eggs and remove them. Spread them out a little bit. That's what I mean by getting errors. It should be okay if we let's check the error log and see what happened. if anything. I'm going to scroll over to the dirty side of my screen here because I have the log text right on the desktop. And you guys don't see it, but let's see if we have any errors on our map. Did not show up in here. So that's interesting. Now it could be something to do with our save game as well. But I'm going to spread out my eggs a little and see if that takes care of it. Giant's engine can be finicky, that's for sure. Well, let's just spread them around the field. They don't have to be. It might have been that I had two eggs directly on top of each other that caused that issue too. So moving it just a little might have solved the issue. But let's see what happens now. Well, let's see. Shouldn't have a problem with the GE running. But if it doesn't work this time, I'll try a clean save game and we'll see. Their points, I think you have to rotate them on your own. But we can test that out in a minute. See if the... I'm pretty sure that they would... you have to spin them... Whoops, let's go to career. I think you're pretty sure you have to spin them on your own, but you could do it easily with the axis. But I'll check that out. Good question. I never did it that way. Alright, so we still have a crashing problem. Let's try a clean save game and see what happens. And it could be just the XML is all messed up from the save game because we added more eggs. That's why when you do map changes, sometimes things go funky. But let's see what happens here now on another save game. Alright, we are back in a clean save game, so let me save that one. I want to make sure my eggs will load up. And then we'll go and see if we can load save game number... Oh, I think that was 12 that I just did. Nope, 13. Make sure it loads up after a save, or we have other issues. So there's something messed up that's causing the map save game to not load in Giant's Editor. And I wonder if I shut this down, and it can't have to do with the eggs. Let me try one other thing. It might be save game active in my save game folder. I want to clear that out. Try one more thing. I'm emptying save game 12. And we'll save a game in there and see if that clears it up, because that's just weird. Not getting any errors at all, just a Giant's engine crash. Then again, it could also have to do with several things. There may be other parts in the map that aren't quite ready to load back in. Let's save game 12. I'm going to exit all the way out and then load back up. See if it crashes. And it does. Boom. Giant's engine stopped working. So let's go back into our map, and to find out if it's something we did today or something that we did before, I'm going to delete all my eggs. And it could be that the trigger, see, it's been so long since I did it, maybe the egg trigger is the part we duplicate, not the egg, but we'll find out. Let's see if that's what caused the problem. I could look at another map, but I'm going to try to figure out what we're doing here anyway. As usual, we always get little things that pop up as you're doing this, especially if you don't do them. You only do eggs once per map usually. And I didn't even have to create them. I imported them from Bjornholm as they were and just moved them around. But yeah, we've definitely got a problem with the save games loading. Let's check our save game files on the map. We've got our career save game, and it could be that we just don't have a proper number of eggs, because this is the first time we're actually running chickens. Although we created, yeah, we should be okay. There, trying to think this out. Everything there looks good. Egg is a fill type, you can see it right there. We're not even getting to that point, which is kind of strange. Just a Giant's engine crashing. It's not even getting to load the vehicle XML file that we have. Interesting, to say the least. Well, something I'll have to troubleshoot. But let's bring up another save game real quick. I don't want 6, that's where I have a save game. Yeah. Let's go and get some more chickens. I'll figure out what's causing that crash eventually and let you guys know. But don't want to take up the whole server issue and see why save game is messing up. Thanks for the follows, everyone. Missing it, just trying to concentrate on this map here where we're messed up and not take the whole time doing chicken eggs. But yeah, we do have an issue with the map already where save game is not saving, but being that it's such a early development, it's very possible that parts are still missing on the map that we have not added yet that cause the save game to malfunction. So more than likely by the time we were done designing and getting everything that's necessary up and running, it'll probably work just fine with a save, but we'll find out. Let's go over to our farm as I'm fast forwarding. We got a little time, get our eggs up there. Cruise over, go by our windmill. Now for later on, we did get our fair running on the PV15, so if you're around later on for our preview, there's some new features at the fairgrounds we have to show you and some that we don't want to show you. But stop by for that. That will start at 9 after the class, so I'll take a little break in between. And we've got information on getting that whole thing wrapped up. We'll fill you in on all that fun stuff a little bit later. And what's going on there? We have our chickens. We should have eggs spread. Oh, we deleted all the eggs, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So we only have the one egg. But anyhow, and we got a fence to fix right there. But that is all I'm going to do on eggs today. Place your eggs. See if your map crashes like mine. Maybe it's something we did. Alright, let's get back into second thing I wanted to show you guys is we were working on the train, which is over here. Yes, last time we were here. And the train spline is invisible. Let's see if we can find our splines folder. Right here. That's not our splines folder, but we got to find our train spline, which finding an invisible object is impossible unless we go to the trigger box. And there it is, grain train spline. So we have the grain train spline in. And I wanted to show you guys how to customize your train. So we're going to go out of here real quick, and in your maps folder, which is in your computer, see program files, Farming Simulator 2015, data, maps. If you scroll down, a train system.xml file. If we copy that, and you don't want to delete or move anything out of this folder, or your map, in-game map, is not going to work. So you may even want to take just once this whole folder and copy it somewhere else so you can work out of it. But we're going to take this train system.xml file and copy that, and we're going to go to our map. Let me get back to my other screen real quick. And inside our map folder, we're going to just paste the train system XML. Right there in the same folder where it's going to be looking for the map, just like it was set up on the other folder, which I closed. Now once you have the train system XML, you can edit that with Notepad, and you'll see this little file here. There's two trains. And if you remember, we set up the grain train, which is labeled right here. Each of these is calling an asset for the train. And it tells you the length of that piece, the number of wheels on that piece, the exhaust index. We don't really have to, and the direction here that it's moving -1. If we just left it 1, it would be facing the other direction. And down here, the next line we have, and I will blow that up a little bit more. Data, maps, models, objects, trains, a grain wagon, and we have a sugar beets wagon right here. Now this is the grain train. Now over here on the wagon grain, you could see the fill types of wheat, barley, rape, and maize, all with one space in between each one. But this is where you can change what delivers on this whole train here, the whole grain train. We're going to get a bonus whenever we send the train with these 4 products, and also the sugar beet. There's just the sugar beet looks a little bit different, but if you wanted to add on to this cart here potato, for instance, now we have a bonus for potato. The other thing I wanted to show you, though, I'm going to bounce back and delete the potato, is you may want to lengthen your train. If I copy this whole line and add in another wagon of grain, I don't even need the fill types because The fill types only need to be in one piece, but I'll put potato on this one anyway. It basically will add all the fill types that you have. And if I wanted to take, and I cut off a piece here, we need that, that's careful editing. We'll put another one right there. And we can even leave that empty. And say you want to have 2 engines so that the train has an engine on each side, or maybe we'll just do a double locomotive on the one side. You can copy that one. Put that one right there. So it's going to start off with 2 engines followed by 3 grain wagons and 1 wagon sugar beet. Heck, we'll make it 2 wagons with sugar beet just for the heck of it. And we don't even need the sugar beet there because it's already on the other one up there. Alright, so now we should have a train at 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my railway is quite short as it is, so maybe it'll fill up the whole thing. Save your file. Exit out. Remember, it should pick this up if I remember correctly. We're just going to load up our map again. And start a clean save game because we know that a save game crashes currently. Alright, find a vehicle. And head over to wherever our train is, which is... You'd think I'd be getting used to this by now. It's over this way. There was probably a heck of a lot closer vehicle too. But who's in a hurry? Not me, I got another 28 minutes to fill. Also later on, sometime tonight's broadcast, I will give away a copy of the new DLC for Farming Simulator in the later broadcast today. So if you haven't picked it up, and we'll do that. So save some of your Pleasant Valley points to get into that drawing. We'll make it cheap though, so you can enter as many times as you have points. And if I'll do it later on in the broadcast as well, so you have time. You're earning points every minute that you're in. Your points go up. So view the broadcast from the start, and we'll do the drawing near the end of the later broadcast, and you'll have lots more points to decide. Over to our train that did not update. Now there's a reason probably behind that, and that probably is something that I completely forgot that I had to do. And my guess would be that we have to point to the train XML file in the map, which is common. So I'm going to go back out, and I wasn't sure, but that's usually part 2. So what we need to find in our map is our map Lua file. Actually, it could be that that train file might need to be in this folder. But let's check the map Lua file and see if there's an indicator in here for where the trains are. And it doesn't say so, so it must have to be in the base map folder. Let's try moving that file that's in here. I'm going to just copy it for now over to here, and that's probably where it has to be, not actually in the map file, but right in the main directory with this where the Lua file is. Let's try booting that up again and see if we have a train. Is it in the GE where it points to? It probably is. Let me see. But let me head over to our train. Wow, we have vehicles everywhere. Anything closer? See if that's where it's supposed to be. Actually, I'm going to check something real quick. Yes, you're correct. Alright, let's bring this down so you guys could see this. Silly me. Right here, XML file name. We are going to just change it to train system XML, and it'll find it in the base folder. Save that. So it's right in our base folder. Let's double check that. Right. Map. It's right there. Put it right in the front folder. Now we should be good to go. Thanks, Sisyphus, for that. Something I forgot to remember from all this map editing stuff. We should have a train now. Because it's going to look where in the same folder as the i3D file is. If we wanted to put it in a directory, we would just put the directory in front of that. And we'll head over. That one's way far away. Where am I? Yeah, this looks good. Still got floating barns. Head toward the lighthouse. Yeah, it's been a while since I did it, and I wanted to show it, but I didn't review today because I've been working on the map quite a bit, trying to get things wrapped up. I never respond to Thernadad on the forum. I respond, let's put it this way, when I go through the forums, I read everything that everybody posts. But if somebody answered the question or it wasn't, I don't have time to post for everything on the forums. So, but I do read everything, and a lot of times Viper will jump in with an answer that would be just the same as mine. So, or somebody else will, the cat, all you guys do well keeping that up, and it's less that I have to do. So, there you go. We have a train now that has 2 engines, and all our other carts that we added as well. So that's basically how you can create your trains. Now, what we did is, and I'll just give you a quick, very quick demonstration on this, is if you go out and to do this quickly, I'm going to show you that in our PV15 map, under models and then objects, I have a folder called trains right here. I'm going to take that, copy it, and we have customized lots of train pieces in here. And I will go back to our map and just put, I'm going to just put it right here so I know it's just in map. In trains, actually, why don't we put it in the same place? I won't have models, objects. I'll paste that in there. Trains. So I just copied all our custom trains in. Now, if I go to our PV15 map and grab our train XML file and put it right where our other one is, which is in here. I'm going to overwrite it. Now, ours contains a lot of trains that and products that and extra trains. So you can see I have extra trains. However, we don't have all these extra ingredients in this map, so we're going to have to make sure we don't have any of the extra ingredients on any of these train cars. But basically, in the other folder, you could see where it says dollar. That's where it's finding the train. The dollar data means it's finding it from the in-game files, maps, models, objects, train. You can take one of those trains, modify it however you want, and then just put the link to where it is in your folder right here. And now that I copied all those train cars into our map, these will find it. We don't have 4 trains, we only have 2. So let's remove grain train 2 and 3. And this one here has the locomotive, which we already have in our folder now. So if I load this up, you will be able to see, because we're pointing to our folder now rather than in the map. We have the wood chip card on the other one. We'll save that and load up one more time. Cops went on a donut break. Now if I did this right, we won't have any errors. And as Big Daddy does, bring up that and see. We've got some splittable meshes need to be closed on fence 1. Interesting. Error running train on create is probably the second train. But let's find out, because we changed we haven't set up a second train yet. I'm hoping that it's the second one. But we'll find out in just a minute, or I have no trains. So far it looks like I don't have a train. Because I think I would see it by now. So it did throw an error. Let's check the log file out. Get a little closer just in case the train is not there. Yep, my train is gone. So let's see what I did there. Train system XML file is right in the main folder. Models, data, maps, models, objects, train wagon. Okay, that's good. Nothing else that I'm missing. Let's see what our error log says. Right here. Alright, we get a call stack error, failed to load i3D file, models, objects, trains, locomotive i3D must not be in my map class. Whoops, that's probably what it is. Map class. We're missing the map, so we gotta add the map edit. Put a map in front of these and it should find them. And let's save that and see what happens this time around. The whole thing is working with trains tonight, apparently. And eggs. Eggs and trains. Let's see. Let's load up real quick. Watch my error log again. We'll worry about the splittable meshes need to be closed errors at some other point. That's probably what's causing this thing to crash. No more train errors. It's always a good sign. Let's head over to our train. Near the lighthouse. I gotta get the teleport mod installed in this folder too, so I could just hit F11 and be there. Save some time. But we should have just imported our new custom trains right from the other map, if all's working well. And you can do, that way you can reskin your own trains if you want. You can add different types of carts. You can go train crazy. Yep, there we go. We got our custom that Big Daddy did. We brought in all the trains. You can also set, again, your different fruit types, but there you go. Which we added the box car that you'll see here. We took the logo off the sugar beet car so that you could have it so it carries other things, and basically edited the heck out of our train cars. But now they're into this map as well, and you can customize the configuration, and they basically load in order from the front all the way to the back. But there you go. That's going to be it on trains. Actually, the sugar beet car we left the same, but we do have one without that logo as well on our map, and it's all in that folder. So, a lot nicer, different looking train on your map. Get out of that real quick because we don't have much time left. And we'll get started on the basics of, we have two other spline types to do. And we'll start off right by the main farm here. Very small, because we are running out of time, but we'll give you an idea. If you go to your splines folder here, you'll see a set of pedestrian splines and a set of traffic splines. There's one pedestrian spline, and it's way over there. So I'm going to bring that over here, and it's basically works the same as the train spline did. Actually, it's in a folder, so we're going to have to you got to keep the splines in the spline folder. Position this sucker close to where we want it, and it's easier sometimes, like I said last week, if you get behind what you're trying to move, so you can see your arrow. And we'll drop it down here. Bring it down. I'm just going to make them walk in the field. Yeah, we'll put it next to the store. Well, that always is fun. One thing I always like to do with the spline as well is, if it's not highlighted, make sure you click the visibility on, and then if you go into view, show, doesn't have, where do we show the splines? I can't remember, but mine are always highlighted. Well, we'll figure that out later. Anyhow, this is the path that they're going to walk on. And you can see you got to be very careful because we're still off the ground, and that will mean people will be floating. You don't want to have floating people, and you also don't want to grab just one node like I just did. You want to highlight the spline. There we go. Reselect the arrow. Get the first starter thing as close to the ground as you can, the whole thing. And if it gets really close and you're not 100% sure if it's on the ground, what you can do is if you click on one of the nodes will start to disappear if you're looking really close as you pull it down toward the ground. You can see we're still quite a ways up off the ground. There's where it disappears. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to just keep dropping down my Y translation in small increments. Oh, it's not on the Y translation, is it? Why is that? Why? It should be on the Y translation. Don't ask me how they did this thing. Working on this map. Whoever imported all this stuff messed everything up on me. Now I can't even find it. It's not underground. Things just are acting up today. There's the point. And I can't find my spline. Visibility got turned off. Did I do that? How did I manage to do that? And I still can't see it. It's way over there. Bring it on in. Oh, we'll set it up over here. Bring it back down. That looks good. Back to where we were. So let's get as close to the ground as we can without it disappearing. Part of it's going to disappear because this originally had people walking up hills. So you're going to get it close. And what you have to do next is take each of your nodes, and you can start anywhere you want. I'll start on this corner. And watch your spline. Drag it down to the ground till it's about halfway under, and each one is going to also be very fun. Now, if you want to change the shape of where they're moving, you can drag out a spline so they walk in a little bit of loop there. But they will walk exactly where the line is. And the line you want to get close to the ground. Now, if you have a lot of straight area here, like these here, unnecessary, just highlight them and hit the delete button. You won't if it's going to be just a straight line, but you will need a few points in where the curves are, but it'll help you set up, and that's what you want to see is right where it disappears. And you go back and do these again just so the line is just above the ground for the pedestrians. And we're almost out of time, and it works the same way with trains. I mean with alright, so this one here goes about there with the vehicles, but you can put them on roads and go up and down the hills. And you're going to want to make sure all these are adjusted so that they're just before the line disappears underground. And I'm not going to do the whole thing because we don't have the time today, but at least for this point we will see that this side of the spline, they'll be on the ground, and you'll see what I mean when I load back in, that over here where it's really high up in the air, the people will be walking until we adjust everything down to the ground level, just to where the line starts to disappear. And funny thing is, as you're doing adjustment on one, you come over here and get this one in upper position, that one disappears. So that's why you gotta work your way around. If it disappears, it's underground. You gotta find the right one and bring it back up to the surface. And it's usually right about where halfway of the box is usually good. So you'll see that we'll have people walking in the air over here, but I'll bring you in one last time and show you that the people here are on the ground, or darn close to it anyway, and you'll have to do some adjustments. But before we do that, in order to have multiple people splines, just control duplicate the one you have, highlight it. The other one is still there. We have a second one we can move wherever we want. You can reshape it however you want. You know, make them walk zigzag like they just left the bar. And you can do that as well by just putting in extra points. And if you need to make a sharp turn, insert a couple points there by hitting the insert key. Now we can turn back, and if we put over here and hit insert key, we get another point to drag, and you just kind of got to play with the way you want to do it. You can name this spline 4 or spline whatever, so you have a different label. Doesn't matter, you can leave them all the same, but it'll help you find out later which spline is which. And we'll go and watch people walk drunk, and we'll see our two splines real quick. In our map. Alrighty, do. I believe I put those near the vehicle shop, which is good, because that's where we come in. So you'll see over here we have the people walking around, and like I said, they're pretty close to the ground on this side. You may have to adjust it if they look like they're floating, but they're pretty good. They always look like they're just maybe slightly off the ground here. But back here where I didn't raise it, you could see you don't want anything to look like where I didn't lower it. They're still walking on air, so you'd have to go around and adjust your whole spline down where you want the people to walk. Now if we go over to where they're zigzagging over here, there also is a way to which I'll show you real quick once we're done here. You can see that guy right there just walked through our zigzag pattern, and this guy should do it in just a minute. He's turning around, and I obviously don't have that completely on the ground yet, but it was kind of quick. And there he goes, just zigzagging around. The other thing we can do is, yeah, I want to quit without saving because the save games don't actually work yet. Let's grab our map real quick. And let's find our splines again, which are right here. You will see pedestrian splines calls pedestrian system on create, and it has again a data maps pedestrian system XML file. Now if we were to, same way we did the vehicle one, we could just erase that part there and bring in from the map folder, from the default folder, which is again your C program files, Farming Simulator 215 data maps. There's also a pedestrian system XML file. We'll take that, and we already know that if we put it into our map class, same place as the train system XML, it will now load this one out of our folder, which has several options on each of the characters as well. So our pedestrian system has that many pedestrians on it. We could add different ones. They're all walking at, interesting how they made men walk faster than women. Isn't that nice? But you can change it from man, there's different suit styles. You can add different people in on your, there's 6 different men, 6 different women. The walk speed is also in there, so you can mess around and play with that, speed them up, see if they walk like crazy. I haven't done it yet, but that's pretty much the pedestrian system XML. And you will notice back in there as well, there is one for the traffic system XML2, which actually allows you to change the car's colors in different parts if you get the RGB codes correctly, which that's another class in itself, but there's an easy way to do that. Add your own cars. Some of the sites have modded vehicles that can go on the traffic spline, and you would add a new vehicle. That's a whole single vehicle right there. All the settings for one vehicle. You can change the sound the vehicle makes just by swapping out your own vehicle file, but you'd have to copy all this into your map first, the vehicles, and then edit it and play around with them, change the colors of the parts of the cars. It's all there. And we'll work on setting up a full one of those next week as well. Give you an idea how the cars work. Pretty much the same as the people. Anybody has any questions? I'll answer them. If not, we're going to get off of this and take a break and come back at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'll have to try making them walk around 100 miles per hour next week. See what happens. I never messed with them yet. Thermidad sent me a PM. Ah. Well, I'm not going to open it up live, but I'll check out and see. I check those about once a day. I'll see what you got. Alright guys, stop back for our preview show at 9 p.m. We'll show you what's new in Pleasant Valley and let you know when it's going to be ready for you guys roughly. And pretty much the mod contest is coming up, so I want to get, thanks for the follow Country Gamer Boy, I want to get that map out of my hands for a little while and work on something new. And I'm contemplating broadcasting most of the creation process for the next map if you want to sit through all my little errors like you do in the map class. It's all just trial and error. Sometimes you forget things, but try to remember. The thing is, when I forget things, usually I can figure out how to fix them within a reasonable time. And you'll learn that as time goes by. But anyway, if you can't make the broadcast, all our broadcasts are sent to YouTube and posted on our webpage, which the link below is there as well. So we'll catch you in a little bit, about 9 o'clock Eastern time for the weekly preview show, and I don't think we have too many more of those on this map left. So thanks for watching guys, and have a great day. Come back soon.